All right, if you give me about 30 seconds of your full attention. Now, again, people in this room are coming at this class from different angles. People like, for example, Mike took the advanced Java class, but took it probably a good year or year and a half ago. So last semester, when we set up our machines and converted the stuff over from the D drive to the C drive or vice versa, whatever it was that John had us do, Mike's wasn't done. Neither was Holly's. I want to make sure that everybody is pretty much together. So what I'm going to do is quickly go over the last 2 or 3 pages of chapter 3, and that's all we're going to do for today. All right? And then in the meantime, hopefully we'll get Mike's machine fixed, Holly's machine fixed, and Luke's machine fixed. So when we come back next time, you're not at all behind. Literally, you know, we're taking, what did we do so far? You know, we took and we removed a text box, we put another text box in there, and we changed what that text box said. That's about it. Now, I do want to mention this. Mitchell had mentioned this during the break, that there's a place out there that he recommends, if I think that's okay to say that, that's called www.lynda.com. And there's a bunch of stuff that's out here. Some of it's free, some of it's not. All right? They try to hook you and get you in. There's a lot of really good material in here. Some of it's free. Now, that said, and I told you this last semester, but I'm saying it again. The one that I use is udemy.com. And it's right here, UDEMY. You can see it. Now, let's say that I wanted to come in here and I wanted to learn about Android. So I come in here and under search for courses, I type in Android and I hit enter. Well, it shows me they have a total of umpteen different courses. Now, you'll notice none of them in here are free. Sometimes they have free courses. All right? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So if I go back again and I check, what was that we looked for before? AngularJS. So under AngularJS, you'll notice, well, maybe they don't have any there either. They're trying to close this, and what I was mentioning to him before is some of these courses, I mean, look at the deals. $199 for 24. What they were doing about once a month is they were taking all of their courses and they were dropping them to $10 for 2 or 3 days out of the month. That was ticking off a lot of the people who created the courses, because instead of getting $200 per course, now they were getting $10 per course. And from what I heard, there was a little bit of revolt over that. So they decided a couple things. First, typically, when they go down, they're only going to go down to $15 instead of 10, which might not sound like a lot, but now if you're a person who works for them, you're now getting 1.5 times what you were getting per course. Okay? And second, they're not going to do that as often. All right? I would recommend, if you think you have an interest in this, just sign up. The account is free. The only time they send you things are when they have specials. That's it. And as I was telling Mitchell, I probably have, the school through the grant, I probably have signed up for, I'd say, about 70 courses through that, out of which I've completed about 40 of them. All right? And the average price that I paid for a course was between $5 and $10. The average cost of an actual course is between $100 and $400. So I've saved a lot of money doing it that way. And they usually do have a lot of free courses. Sometimes they'll take a course and an author will come out with something new and say, hey, for the next hour or for the next day, if you click this button, the course is free. All right? And they'll come out with new stuff. And if you don't care, if you say, well, I'm here, I'll learn it in class, that's fine. All right? But they show you the levels, and usually they've changed this around. What they used to have in here was they also had the prices. So like under $50, $50 to $100, and over $100. But they've changed the way this looks a little bit lately. There are a lot of other places that you can go also. I just use this one because A, I've used it for a few years, and B, I'm actually writing a course for them right now. All right? The other thing that I thought was funny, because I have a weird sense of humor, look, it's almost here. jQuery 3. All right? Gee, just when you thought you'd learned everything there was, now there's jQuery 3. All right. So what I'm going to do then is to go back into the virtual desktop. This is what I have. Again, you may or may not have seen that light bulb. Okay? What the light bulb means is, I want to tell you something. It's not an error. It's not a warning. But I want to tell you something. all right? And basically, what they want to tell me when I click it is, it says, you've got an I18N error. And it says that you hard-coded in there, welcome to Android Studio. You really should be using a string resource. So if I click that arrow that's at the end, it comes back and it says, what do you want to do here? Well, I want to use the first one. That's almost always the one you're going to want to choose. Extract string resource. So what is that doing? That basically is doing the equivalent of opening up my strings.xml file. All right? And I want to call this, they say, welcome string. Okay, so I just typed welcome string in there and I click OK. All right? Now notice the light bulb is gone, and if I come over to here, and someplace in here under layout somewhere, I don't know, remember where it is, but somewhere in here, values, thank you, is my strings file. And notice what it put in there for me. It did it for me. That's one of the things that Android does, or Eclipse doesn't really do it like that. It's not as automated of a process. All right? The other thing that I want to show you, because there's only one other thing that they have you do in here, in this chapter, all right? And that is, they say, well, let's go in here, and let's go into our activity main file, all right, our XML file, and, well, let's take a look. If we look in here, if we look long enough, we'd find the background, all right? We'd find it right here, and we could set the background color right there if we wanted to, all right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that, all right? But the author says, well, you know, we want to have our layout and we want to set the background. So again, we could do that, or we can come and do it right in here, all right? So what the author says is, come back down to the bottom here, and I just want you, don't worry about typing in or anything. I want you to watch this. It's not, ooh, wow, but just so you see what happens right away. So when I click down here and I type in Android, background, color, and I hopefully that's the right name, equals, and then I'll put in here # FF0000.
Just says background in the PDF.
Okay, just says background in the PDF, but it'll take either one. Okay? It gives you a little swatch right here to tell you what that's about to look like. All right, and I'll change it. If it's just supposed to be background, then I'll keep it at background. Right. You see what happened? That's the automatic preview window that comes up. All right. Now you might look at that, well, I can't even read the thing now. Well, then you could go in and instead of setting the background, you could set Android color, and you could set that to white or something like that. All right. But this is something new that is not available in Eclipse. That they call it their preview window. And they actually call this a swatch. All right, right here. And you'll notice, because the other thing they ask you to do in here is they have you change it from red to green. Now I'm just using the simple FF colors, but they give you an actual different hex code color. But they say now if you come in here and you change it from this to 00FF00, you'll notice green there and green there. That's it. All right. Now, what I was going to have us do today was I was going to have us hook up the tablets, but I don't want to do that until we have 12 machines or however many are in here that are all working. All right, because there's some drivers and stuff that have to be downloaded, and why should we do this twice? All right, I'd rather do it once. So I'm just going to end early today. All right, and if you haven't heard the big news is Thursday at noon, they're bringing that magician back, that Chris Carter, and there's free lunch. So I'll have to make sure that I finish talking by between 22 and 1:45 so you can all get your butts down there so you can get in line for the free lunch. All right? So it was kind of a scattered brain period. What I'd like you to do, especially if you had problems with your machine or something that was not at all your fault, all right, go back and look at chapters 1, 2, and 3. All right? And I will take out a work order right now for both of you. I'll take out 2 different work orders so Adrian knows what's going on if we have to. And I'll ask him about Luke and about Holly. And they'll be done within 5 or 10 minutes. All right? And even if he's at home, if he's around, he'll get back to me.
I don't think he's here at all today.
Yeah. Well, he could be in Milton, he goes to Beloit, he could be in Monroe. They don't have a regular person in Monroe anymore. I don't know if you heard, but during the break, Monroe flooded. They were under like about 3 or 4 inches of water, it looked like. Yeah, the whole campus flooded. So that's it for today. We'll just pick it up on, quickly go back over chapter 3 next time, and then we'll pick it up on chapter 4 on Thursday.